But she definitely did spend a lot of time in the mud.
Anymore.
All right, thank you guys for stopping by the CinemaBlend suite to talk about Prey. We're gonna dive right into it. And I'm gonna start with Dan and ask you a question that I know the answer to because I've been lucky enough to see the film. But why did you cast Amber in the lead?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I've been wondering that recently. It was the second that I met her, I knew it was most assuredly going to be her. She is just uniquely talented at saying so much with so little. This movie does not have a lot of dialogue in it. It's primarily told through action. And in one of the auditions that we had, there was like a physical obstacle course component to it. Okay. And she really wasn't just like crawling and hopping over some mats and whatever it was. She was like telling a story while she was doing those physical feats, and that's this movie needed that. A lot of story is told inside set pieces and just through physical action. Right. And a lot of period pieces, I find there to be a real wall up that it's hard to find any relatability. And I think setting eyes on her for the first time, seeing her behavior and hearing her speak, you just sort of immediately connect with what she's experiencing. And that can't be done by everyone.
Amber, what's your memory of that?
That's the nicest group of words I've ever heard Dan say about me.
None of it's true.
It's all lies. Yeah. What is what?
What are your memories of that exercise that he just brought up?
Yeah, I remember that very clearly.
Yeah.
I also remember, I thought you were going to talk about my favorite thing when I knew that I was a fan of Dan, and I had seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, obviously, and I was very beyond impressed with his ability to create a very interesting narrative story inside of something that might not come off as that. But when I really, really knew that I loved him as a director was in the test audition. He asked me, your face. He asked me to do a scene that we had been doing. We prepared a scene in English and then Comanche, and then he asked me to do it without words. Oh, nice. He was like, I don't know, this might be really weird, this might be really bad, but don't say anything, but do the whole scene. And I was like, okay.
That was great. She was awesome. That was a very moving experience just watching that version of that.
That was the moment for me that I was like, oh, we speak I feel like we found kind of that we spoke a language that we didn't speak the whole movie. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys are just meeting for the first time here right now.
Yeah, but no, I feel like that was when we to me, that was when I figured out I can connect with him as an artist.
Gotcha. For the cast, primarily, I found this movie to be so immersive because of so many different reasons. The location, primarily, and the way that it puts you into those different scenes. For your makeup is fantastic in terms of building the characters. What's a specific element that really made it feel immersive for you guys when you were on set?
That's a good question. Immersive for me, I love watching Taabe's journey, and you kind of get to see that via his war paint. You see him at multiple different points. And originally, towards the end, Taabe wasn't going to have anything towards the end of the movie. But I was like, I feel like we just need a little bit of extra swag, because I feel like he's getting his groove, And for lack of a better word, he's getting his groove back. So we had looked at this one particular design earlier in the movie, and I said, Dan, can I do this with some, we know this certain way? And he was like, yeah, man. So we did it.
Great Dan impression.
It's accurate.
Yeah.
And Dane, was there an element for you that really made you feel like you were in the moment?
Anything specific?
Yeah. All I had to do is look down. No, it just
literally, because to wear the Predator head, he had, because the innovation for this movie, because we wanted the head to be so much more proportional. I'll let you speak. Sorry, proportional to the body and not feel so top heavy and so suit-y. Was not having to stuff the face inside with all the animatronics. So this when we put the head above Dane's head. Okay. So when the face of the Predator is looking forward, Dane is looking down at the ground. Okay. So all of those fight sequences and everything, every time you see the Predator moving around and it looks normal, Dane's sort of flying blind.
It's funny, when we wrapped the movie, I said, I can't wait to see this thing. I didn't see a damn thing the whole time. No, it was obviously he's different this time around, and there definitely were some interesting and exciting challenges that came from the physical side of wearing this suit, with the head and everything, and but yeah, I mean, when you're under the rubber and you look down and you see his 16 pack and those dreads, man, and we schlooped the slime all over the dreads every time, and you got the first AD Rich, he's counting down, and I'm getting in it, and I just see the dreads hanging there, and I hear zzz, and then the animatronics turn on. I'm like, man, it's game time. This is real. This is it.
I didn't know that was the thing. You could hear the animatronics turn on inside the.
Oh my God, I couldn't hear anything because they put the God mic in my ear, so I could hear Rich give me the cues. But Dave would turn on the animatronics and zzz, and my whole head's buzzing.
Oh my
gosh!
gosh.
It was and all the animatronics, because everything is with all the mandibles and the eyebrows and the eyes moving around.
Could you tell like what was what? Like,
no.
The
But the only thing I could see was the bottom of the jaw. When I roared, it would open, so then my vision would get smaller, and then it would go back. But other than that, no, I looked through those two slits in the neck the whole time. And thank goodness for Rich Cowan, who guided me through this and laying sticks on the ground, essentially.
Oh my God.
He followed like a
That's
trail of,
incredible.
You would see in our scenes, there would be trails of sticks that I would follow.
Right.
So I wouldn't walk into trees. That whole burnt glade sequence of me walking in was like just walking straight. It was.
Didn't you fall in a hole?
That was someone else. But that was So yeah.
There's a shot that's a signature shot for every Predator movie, which is the infrared, essentially. And it has to be exciting when you get to see it for the first time in your movie. Do you talk about, or do you think about, like, when am I going to use it? When are we going to see it from the Predator's point of view? Because it's something that we've become so accustomed to with the franchise.
Certainly, we thought a lot about the stages of and reveals of how and when we see the Predator, which was so exciting in the original movie, because it starts out, you're only seeing that heat vision, and then you see it cloaked, and then you see it decloaked but masked, and then that was something that's not really been around since that original film, and I really wanted us to enjoy as much as we could the heat vision moments, and enjoy as much as we could when it's cloaked, and maximum cool in those set pieces, and then when it's decloaked, that we're really fully embracing everything that we can do when it looks that way, and then of course its final form that we're making sure that it's as exciting as it possibly can be.
Amber, do you feel like you could track an animal now?
You can now.
I can.
Yeah, you've gone hunting and.
Oh, I can actually.
Yeah.
Yes, not because. Well, I guess kind of because of this movie.
Yeah.
Since the movie, I have actually I've been hunting for the first time. I've been fishing. So I guess is in a kind of a loop around way, thanks to Dan. Yes.
You're not like staring at sticks and
I'm not
looking
really
for green blood.
I did actually learn a lot about hunting, and then look back in hindsight and compare a lot of things, and I was like, oh, that's it. Okay. And then I'd be like, oh yeah, all right. But I definitely feel like I picked up a lot of interesting skills, or I definitely went through a lot of physical experiences that I can't say that when I was like a little girl and I was like dreaming of like, I don't know, playing pretend all the time, or like when I decided to act, that I ever imagined like, oh, I'm gonna go to work today and get thrown in a mud pit. Like I didn't think.
All right, good. I'm glad you went to the mud sequence, because I really want to ask you about filming the mud sequence, which is one of the most tense sequences in the film, of just like, how is this gonna happen? How long did it take to film that? I'm curious.
5 days?
It took a long time, only because once you're in the mud, that's it.
Yeah.
So we had to sort of stage things out where we were doing we would show up to work and we'd do just getting in the mud this day, and then we'd shoot more other scenes, and then the next day we'd be like, let's getting out of the mud and do the run through of that. So it was sort of elongated, but she definitely did spend a lot of time in the mud.
It's the mud pit.
I did feel bad.
No, but it looks amazing. It was worth it. It was worth it just to get the visuals for it. So.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Dane, what other time period would you love to see the Predator dropped into?
I I'm from Lexington, Massachusetts, where the Revolutionary War began. So it would be interesting to see the Predator go against some redcoats. I know it's a little bit close to this time period, but I feel like that would be pretty interesting. And also Predator against some samurai would be a cool one as well.
All right. Do you guys have any other ideas of where you'd want to see the Predator get dropped into?
I mean, Vikings would be cool.
Okay.
I think samurai would be wicked. I mean, just that fighting predators with the samurai sword.
Right.
That was pretty cool. And it'd be cool to see some more of that. I don't know.
There's infinite possibilities of where we could go. All right. I left this movie just totally convinced that you were the biggest badass in the franchise. So I just want everybody to place bets. If we have basically Amber going against Schwarzenegger's Dutch, who emerges victorious?
You all know the right answer.
Was anyone going to say Dutch?
Go on.
Well,
Who?
she knows the forest. She's like, it's her hood. So she has the upper hand.
I guess that is a good where is the fight.
It takes a long time for Dutch to learn where she sort of just inherently starts out.
Okay.
But I think the exciting thing about her in this movie, though, is that is seeing her try. It's one of the things that I love in some action adventure movies. Certainly it's exciting to see a character that's so gifted that they can handle action scenes with a nonchalance, but I really love seeing characters try to do something and seeing her fight for literally everything she has to survive through, I think is a little bit more exciting than the wish fulfillment that we got in the 80s with our action heroes like Schwarzenegger and guys like him. So, but yeah, I think she would.
I could take them.
All right.
I think Naru could handle Dutch. I don't know.
I guess
if
that's fair.
Amber could handle.
All
But hopefully you guys know.
I
her.
can hunt now.
Yeah.
You just talked me up.
That's true. That's true.
So.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
We're gonna
Appreciate
go. The sound design in the movie is so incredible. Though.
Awesome.
That's what I really left it just being
And the
amazed
score,
at.
too, I think,
A
is
score.
like exceptional.
Yeah, terrific. Like
yeah.
the sounds of weapons going through the air and like embedding themselves in trees. It's just fantastic. So
Awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank
I
you
really,
so
really
much.
enjoyed it. Yeah, it was
Same
terrific.
here.